but remember the data. The lower body count means potentially a higher divorce rate. And
It doesn't mean that. So once again, the data that we talked about in the last podcast, the data that I have and that's known, it's popular, it's viral. Hollywood Unlocked posted it. No Jumper posted it. What'd you say?
I'd love to see it. Yeah, shoot it my way. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I can shoot it your way. But once a woman reaches a body count between 5 or 6, the probability for her to maintain a long-term relationship drops down to 20%. Your data shows that when a woman reaches a body count of 10, she's more likely to maintain a relationship rather than a woman that has a body count of 2. You said, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And logically, if we even think about it, right? This is why data is cool, but it's like, all right, well, what can you extrapolate from the data to make it make logical sense? A woman that had 10 penises in her, well, she's more likely to have fear of missing out. She's more likely to be unsatisfied because fear of missing out is she had so many wangs.
Wouldn't you say the woman that has 2 partners would be more likely to have fear of missing out than the woman that has 10?
Nope, doesn't logically make sense. I'll explain.
Okay.
Yep. Women, when they get with men, they like to compare and contrast. They compare and contrast these 3 things mainly, right? They compare and contrast a man's masculinity. They compare and contrast a man's, really 4 things. His charismaticness, the way that man can make her feel the vibes. Oh, this nigga was funny, but Tyrone wasn't really that funny. I think I'm kind of missing Tyrone, or I kind of want something else that remind me of Tyrone. That dude was kind of raising me up. That was funny. She also compare and contrast finances. A man that can give her security, right? And then she also compare and contrast sex.
Sure.
You know? So with those 4 things, that's what she compare and contrast. So think about it. The woman that experienced so much, she's experienced all these dick sizes, all these finances, all this, different vibes and charismaticness. And think about it. If she's just letting people inside her, which is her body should be a temple, her value is tied to her sexuality, but she doesn't have the mindset, right, and the willpower to not see the red flags in guys and to always keep letting guys hit it without really picking that guy that can lock her down. Well, she's more likely to never be locked down. She's more likely to be unsatisfied and an unruly woman. What does that correlate to? She's more likely to have fear of missing out. Well, what am I missing out on? I had these, I'm comparing this and this. It's fear of missing out. I know what some people think about what their minds aren't right. Well, the woman that has sex with 2 guys, well, she would probably have fear of missing out. Well, let's think about it. It doesn't make sense. She didn't even experience anything too much. Think about it. And not only that, why didn't she experience anything too much? Because she had discipline and she holds her body as a temple. So she's more likely to have a mindset to have sexual temperance rather than the slore. So she wouldn't be having fear of missing out. It's not in her character. It's not in her morality.
I think I 100% disagree there. It's
God dang, T, what?
Yeah, I know. For example.
All right, how you disagree? Give me 1 point.
I collect shoes. Well, I used to collect shoes. I have after I had my first 20 pair, then when I probably got up to my first 100 pair, I had a much better idea of what I wanted after I got to my 100th
Bad
pair.
Example, T. Shoes aren't humans because humans have consciousness and morality, and they do immoral act. Do you think, I got a question for you real quick.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on morality? Do you think morality is subjective or objective?
100% subjective.
Okay, so I got a question for you then, because here's where we talk and pass one another sometimes. So maybe we should go there. I think that'd be a good one, morality. Cool. Do you think it's immoral? Let's say this, since you think it's subjective. For example, if you have a daughter, if your daughter, would you want your daughter to have sex with 100 guys or 1 guy?
Preferably up to me, 1 guy.
1 guy. And why would you want your daughter to have sex with one guy?
I think it mitigates risk.
Okay,
So,
mitigates risk,
yeah, so if
right?
she sleeps with one guy, that less bad things can happen.
Less bad things can happen to her. Less bad things can happen to the guy. And do you think if everyone operated like that in society, that would be a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, well, I got a
Yeah, I don't
question.
know. Hmm.
Let me switch up the question.
Okay.
So you say if you had a daughter, you would obviously your kid. That's a copy of yourself. You obviously love your daughter, right? So
Right.
you're looking at it from a sense that if. So my question is, would you want everyone to operate like your daughter with a one body count because it would mitigate risk and they would have, less bad experiences and the man would have less bad experiences? And if everyone operated like how your precious daughter operated and only had one body, wouldn't you, if your daughter would be good, if you deem that your daughter, if that would be best for your daughter and she would be a good person, wouldn't you think if you extrapolate that out and everyone operated like her, the world would be better?
Potentially, but I think that's where it gets hard because now I'm hindering on other people's free will. Because what if somebody else wants to go in
I'm
there?
not.
You're just
That's not
asking
a.
me strictly for me.
I got you. That's not an argument. So I'm saying this is an ought claim. So you said that your daughter ought to have one body. Now it's a reason why she ought to have one body, and you gave those reasons, right?
Well, in comparison to the 100, yes.
Got it. So if all women ought, so if you would choose the one body for your daughter, right? Why? My question is, why wouldn't you want people to operate just like your daughter? If that's what be best for your daughter, wouldn't you think that that's what be best for your neighbor's daughter, the community's daughter, and everyone else?
Unfortunately, no, because I think this almost I hate to completely change the conversation, but
Okay.
if are you still streaming on Facebook and Instagram?
Uh, you got a word you want to say? I could probably close out.
It's not a big deal. I'll censor it.
Okay.
If two women were pregnant, I may have different advice for one of them. So, and I think that both advice could be very different for each woman, and I think they could both be sound morally. Does that make
You
sense?
okay? Talking about abortion?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. You said it,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think we're fine to speak
Okay.
about that
Okay.
on Facebook and IG. Let me just check real quick on Facebook.
Okay.
1 second here. Chat, we do it live, man. I see it. We got a lot of people in here that wants to come in. Will, I got you. Ryan, I got you. And Mr. 5-star, I got you. Gonna have about 5, maybe 10 more minutes with T. And just wait patiently and I'll bring you guys up. 1 second. Let me go ahead and close out. Hey, everyone on Facebook, come on over to YouTube because conversation probably gonna get a little bit too spicy. So come on over to YouTube at nofugazee podcast. Let me go ahead and close this out. All right. Okay. All right, cool. So when I were just live on YouTube and Instagram, I'm gonna stay on Instagram for a little bit. Actually, let me check the IG real quick.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. Up to you. I can go.
yeah,
I
if
can
it's
go.
not
on
a,
my, it's not. It's not crazy, but I think you
yeah, I
what
got you.
was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you were saying. Hold up, let me just check something real quick. Okay. Yeah, we'll stay live on Instagram for a little bit more. Everyone on Instagram, start just making your way over to No Fugazi Podcast on YouTube. And yeah, but go ahead. You were talking about abortion.
Yeah.
You were making a comparison. So you said
Right.
that if it was, you would give different advice to the women, two different
that
women.
are both pregnant, and I think that both of the advice could still be moral, which is why I would say that to tie that back to your original hypothetical is just if I think is what's best for my daughter to have one partner, I don't know that I would then make the prescription to another girl that one partner may be best for her.
But 1 versus 100. That's the hypothetical.
That's hard. I would probably always prescribe 1 versus 100. Sure.
Okay, got you. Or so when I was even say 1 versus 50. Let's just break it in half. Would you say 1 versus 50?
50's a lot, but yeah, most likely. But
Okay,
if you go to
cool.
25, I may change it.
Okay, no worries. Let's just go 1 versus 50, right? So the reason why I asked that hypothetical, because we're talking about morality right now. And that hypothetical is to test your logic, right? So I'm saying that morality is objective. Oof. You're saying that is subjective, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
the answer to the question that you just, the answer that you gave to my question proves that morality is objective. So you know, based off your answer, that you would advise your daughter to only sleep with 1 guy versus 50 guys due to X amount of reasons, due to mitigate risk and all of these. As the number goes up, she takes more risk. She takes more risk and more risk and more risk and more risk, right? So what's best for you to do for your daughter is to only have sex with 1 guy and marry that 1 guy. That's why you chose that answer. It's because you know it's morally good. And even if you're not even thinking about mitigating risk, you know that do you agree that a woman's value is tied to her sexuality?
No, I don't.
To some capacity? To some capacity, you don't agree?
Probably to some capacity. But I think that's value. I think that is subjective also, depending, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And even then, how you may view a woman that has, 1 partner may be different from how somebody may view somebody who has 10 partners, right?
Yeah, with the whole beauty is the eye of the beholder, that's not necessarily true. Beauty, scientifically proven, is symmetry. So, and then there's also biology. So in a face, it's symmetrical. And then as far as its biology, what a man is attracted to in a woman, a man is attracted to the Coke figure, a smaller waist with wider hips. The reason why is because a woman with wider hips, from a biological standpoint, she's more likely to have and gives the man a successful birth. Give his kids a successful birth. The reason why, before C-sections were invented, if the woman didn't have wider hips, the baby is more likely to not be able to flip into the right angle to come out the uterus. With wider hips, it's more room and the baby can turn more and come out. Not only that, the doctors and everything is able to shift the baby as well for the baby to come out. So from a biological standpoint, how the creator, God, created us, we're attracted to the Coke figure. Wider hips, we're automatically attracted to it. Also, with women, they're attracted to, from a biological standpoint, they're attracted to jawline, broader shoulders, and chest, and bigger chest and arms. So they're attracted to the T-shape. We're attracted to the Coke bottle. Women are attracted to the T-shape. The T-shape just shows that the man is more masculine and has the capability of protecting her long term, and having the ability to hunt and gather. Let's say thousands of years ago. So I understand what you mean as far as beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's because our mothers and grandmothers had low self-esteem and lied to us. So,
but even then, though, I do think there is some truth to the things you did say.
Yep.
But we would still, I would go back to your previous point, to how you said how men settle, and men will settle for things, and I think that is an unarguable truth. So I think that's where a lot of subjectivity will come into play.
Okay, you said you don't think that men would settle with a lot of stuff?
I think they would, how you had said, men will settle, or they're more likely to settle.
Oh, men,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think so. So if you have this woman that has the Coke bottle, but she's super masculine, but then you have a woman that's just built like a rectangle, but she's super feminine, I think that men would probably have to reconsider these things. So I think that's where you have to sort of quantify the effects.
So I get what you're saying. So here's how it comes into the play. Good example, right? So you said a woman with a Coke figure, but she's masculine. The woman with she's shaped like SpongeBob, but she's ultra feminine.
Right.
We have examples in this right now. No one wants Whoopi Goldberg or Oprah Winfrey. They got all the money in the world, but they shape like SpongeBob. Ain't nobody attracted to them. You know what I'm saying? I think Oprah's still single to this day, and she's a billionaire.
Stedman's still holding it down? I'm not sure.
No, bro. So like, remember when you said that men are hypergamous? If that's the case, they would have been taking Oprah like, Oprah, please, I want you. No man is looking Oprah's way. Okay. But not only that, not only that, she can get someone. But I'm saying that not only that, Oprah, she's the woman is actually hypergamous. She makes $1 billion. Mm-hmm. A lot of men, she don't even see a lot of men. A lot of men is see-through. Sure. Them niggas is invisible. Sure. So with that being said, like, it just doesn't correlate, my buddy. But
we've seen Tom Brady's wife date down. We've seen Kim Kardashian date down.
Well, it's reasons for
his wife date down.
It's reasons for a woman with such high, status and income to date down because those women are older, so they reach the wall, right? Those women reach the wall. So they have to date down. One, their finances is so high and they reach the wall. And not only that, there's not enough men in the market that would choose that older woman that's rich. The older guys that has money, they're going to date the younger girls. You know what I mean? So like, for example, Kim K having Kanye, she's never going to be able to find a Kanye. But you see Kanye finding many of Kim Kardashians. Based off of beauty, because that's what he doesn't care about the woman's money, right? So now let's go back to your example. You said that a woman that has the SpongeBob body, but she's feminine versus the woman that is got the Coke figure, but she's masculine. Most men operate off of their nature. So they're going to choose that woman with the Coke figure, the woman with the yams. Niggas want yams. Thanksgiving. Men is going to choose the yams over the SpongeBob woman, right? But the thing is, he going to have to keep bumping his head like, dang, why did I choose that? I was in my nature. My morality didn't supersede my nature. So I'm saying at some point, a man's morality needs to supersede his nature. His nature is to want the Coke figure, but it's like that crazy attitude. His morality, if it supersedes the nature, he's gonna be like, no, this woman can't give me peace. I'm gonna choose this type of woman that can give me peace, right?
But you see, if his morality can't supersede nature, that would mean his morality is subjective.
That wouldn't mean that his morality is subjective, right? That also means that now we got to correlate with a man with options, right? I explained it to Antenna on a podcast, and I'm sure you've seen some clips as well.
I did. But
do you agree with?
About men being insecure?
Not that part.
Okay.
Let me know if you agree with this, and then I'll give you 2 more questions, and then I'll get to the next caller because we've been going for a little bit.
For sure.
So, competence creates accomplishments, which then creates true, genuine confidence in a guy. And when a guy has that confidence, meaning that it's authentic, he's not like a used car salesman just selling girls a dream and lying all the time and conveying himself based off of, things that he really doesn't have and things that he really didn't accomplish. Women, they could kind of source those guys out. And men, we could look at those guys like, man, you're a used car salesman, you're lying. So when you're competent, and you have some accomplishments, some things that you actually accomplished, an accomplished man has more confidence than an unaccomplished man. That's one. Also, what it does is it creates options in a man. When you got options, you have an abundance mindset. When you have an abundance mindset, then that's when you have the ability to be intolerant of females' inadequacies. Competence creates accomplishments, which creates confidence, abundance of options, then abundance mindset, and you're intolerant of the masculine woman because you have options. You're intolerant of the woman that has OnlyFans because you have options. You're intolerant of the woman that's stripping because you have options. And I think that when men have options, they will make the moral choice of, man, I'll take the 6 that's super feminine. We actually see it. We actually see it. The NBA players, the girls that they actually become, the athletes, all the celebrities that has the options, the majority of them, they're wives be average looking chicks. They be sleeping with mad other Johns, but their wives be some average looking girls, bro.
But I'm gonna try to tie this back. When you say that a competent man that has an abundance mentality or mindset, he has got there via experience, right? Just like how you said, like he's accomplished more, therefore he has, I guess, more notches on his belt. Is that sort of
Not
what you're
even
saying?
not even sex. He doesn't have to have more
Yeah, not
notches on his
yeah,
belt. Yeah, no, not
just
sex.
accomplishments. He's seen the world, therefore he can logically make an assessment as to what is better for him.
Not that is one, but the main thing is that he's able to attract more females because females are innately attracted to guys with genuine confidence.
Sure,
They're also attracted to guys that's competent. They don't want no dummy. Dumb guys, you can't rizz a chick up if you're dumb.
Yeah.
Just don't work.
Yeah. All I'd say is I think I would be able to directly sort of tie that back over to our
Okay.
previous conversation about the woman living at home with her parents versus the woman that's out and about. Because she's out and about, because she has that life and experience, because she understands the way the world works, that she will be able to better assess for a suitor and what makes her happier. And therefore, she will be able to embrace her femininity, where the girl at home is still going to be sort of childish and guided because she will have no way to be able to. She would be the quote unquote insecure guy in comparison to the competent guy. I know there's going to be differences within sex, but I do think there is a lot of overlap there.
I would say that is zero overlap because trauma builds men and trauma breaks women. Trauma and adversities builds men. Like if you go through some traumas as a man and some adversities and you overcome it, you build character. That makes you more masculine. A masculine man, more men trust a masculine man. A masculine man, more women want to be led by a masculine man. But vice versa, it doesn't happen with women. When women experience traumas and adversities, she overcomes it. But in order to overcome it, she has to tweak a few things, just like the man has to tweak a few things because we're all human beings. So she's like, oh, then I went through this, so let me, not go through this again. Let me be a little bit more non-agreeable. Let me be a little bit more assertive, a little bit more dominant, so I don't go through those stresses that this other nigga put me through. So it puts up walls. And I think that it doesn't go to your example because the woman that's not living at home with her family versus the woman that is just living at home by herself, experiencing all the traumas and adversities up on her own and not having her dad and family to give her guidance, she's more likely to build up those walls and be a masculine woman, which guys are not attracted to.
Well, I disagree with a lot.
God dang, T.
Yeah, no. High
good?
level, I think that I don't think that men respond well to trauma. I think the prison population is a reflection of that. I think the addicts are a reflection of that. I think that it seems like women
I said overcome.
overcome.
Yeah. Not just trauma. If anyone experiences trauma and they didn't overcome it,
Then they're cooked.
men or women, they're cooked.
Okay.
Done deal. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's tough because I think, again, obviously I'm biased. I see a lot of women that overcome trauma and they become awesome mothers. They become
Yeah.
awesome employees, owners, and so forth. But last thing before you in a clip you said, and this sort of will sort of maybe track even back to what you said about antenna, and this still tracks to within our conversation.
Okay.
Was that you said that
And one thing, hold that thought real quick. I see Roland Miller. I see Cash In. I see Will, you still in here, and also Mr. 5 Star. Just wait out. We got about maybe 3 more minutes with T, and then we're gonna, get to you guys. But go ahead, T.
you had said there's a clip of you saying that I'm going to butcher it, but you'll know what I'm saying. You said that a man is it is biologically impossible for a man to feel insecure to a woman that makes more money.
Yeah.
Something along right. So, and I know we obviously will disagree with data points and that, but I mean I still feel obligated to introduce it.
Sure.
There's a study done. 6,000 couples were surveyed
Yep.
over 15 years and concluded that men experience the most psychological distress when they are or one of the highest amounts when they're the head of household.
When they're the head of the household. Yeah.
When they're
Okay.
the head of household, when they are having to financially provide, they're stressed out.
Yeah.
They start to become happier as their wives make more, up to the point to where their wives make 40%. that is when men are the happiest within their relationship, is when their wives make just about half, which sort of speaks to my part about partnership. But now, when the woman starts to make more than the 40%, and she starts to make more than her husband, his psychological distress, his insecurities go way up. And it directly correlates that the woman that makes, as the woman starts to make more, his psychological distress goes up. So I guess I'd be curious to your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure. So I totally disagree. It just
I know.
A man just doesn't operate like that. I'll give my anecdotal experience. I used to be broke, man. I made was making $14 an hour when I was like 21 all the way to maybe even 24. And even when I was 18 years old, I used to date this chick in high school, right? And she used to give me, I was a little pimp back in them days. She used to give me some bread and let me drive for BMW. I said, skirt,
Right.
pulling up. And I can assure you that I didn't have an insecure bone in my body. Let me finish though. Let me finish. Hold up. That's just my anecdotal experience. That's just me giving y'all some personal stuff, because I'm hardly ever personal on here. But generally speaking, when it comes to insecurity means a lack of confidence, right? So a woman is not competition for a man. She's not competition from a biological standpoint. She's not competition for a man. And also she's not competition for a man is because attraction isn't symmetrical. The man doesn't look for the same things in a woman that the woman looks for in him. The man looks for a feminine, submissive woman that can be his cheerleader and give him peace. The woman looks for the competent man that can give her security and that can guide her and protect and provide for her. So if a man is, it wouldn't correlate for him to be insecure to a woman that's making money. If anything, what happens is why maybe that data came out, because women tend to project. When a woman meets a man and she's with a man in a relationship and she's out earning him, she subconsciously views him as less. So then she projects and says, well, this nigga insecure, da-da-da-da-da-da. But the reality is he isn't insecure. The fact is that she's just putting all of her thoughts onto the man, but innately that nigga's sitting back chilling in a crib eating snacks and not even worried about the woman making more money. If anything, he's annoyed because she's being a little bit annoying and talking down on him. So if anything, why the man would feel, I would say the man would feel more stress and be more stressed out being with a woman that's working and earning more, is because she's inherently will look down at that man and grow resentment. That's when she starts to withhold sex for compliance. Like, there's a multitude of things about a woman that women operate differently. So they have what they are aroused by, and then they have what they are attracted by, right? Arousal and attraction for a woman is different. Women get aroused by masculine dominant men. Women are attracted to the dark triad traits in men, and mostly younger women are attracted to that. And then women tend to not be attracted by the dark triad traits in men when they start to, feel the traumas and adversities from dealing with a multitude of men, and when they kind of reach that wall in the dating market. So with that being said, guys aren't insecure because a woman makes money. Usually it's just like the woman is just projecting and she's hurt and she really doesn't like that dude. And then he feels that he suffers by dealing with a woman like that.
I'd have to reread the study, but it was 6,000 couples surveyed over 15 years. And the
send me that study. When was that study done? Yeah, because I want to see that study. And not only not only that, like I said, the reason why. Let me ask you a personal question, T.
Sure,
Are you a heterosexual male?
Yes.
Okay, so you date women.
I do.
Okay, got it. And were you raised with both of your with a man in the household or no? Mm-hmm. You were raised with a man full time in your life?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got you. And
Yeah.
who were you more, who did you gravitate towards more, your mother or your father?
Probably my dad. Probably.
Probably your dad? Okay.
Yeah, probably.
And was your dad the head of the household?
Yes.
He was the head of your mother.
Well,
And did your mother
he
view
made more
him?
money. He made more money than my mom.
Okay. Did your mom view your dad as the head of her?
No, and that's where we go back to partnership. But yeah,
To-
no, she didn't. She didn't do him.
Well,
as
that probably makes sense. Like, was your mom the one that was like, telling your dad what to do? Like, no, Jerry this, and yes, Jerry that, and was she kind of like, leading as well?
It was, like, if it came to, like, there was just things that my mom would make more sound decisions.
Who was the main? I got a better question. Who is the main decision maker in your house?
Just overall, maybe my dad.
Okay.
Maybe my
Okay.
dad.
So you do.
Overall.
Okay. So overall, maybe your dad was the main decision maker. So how did you adopt? Because I always say that influence creates thinking and thinking creates behavior. So you're thinking that, a partnership, you want a partnership. And I would say that since you want a partnership, then you think that that's what's best for society.
I think overall society agrees with that, and I think the data reflects that. But even then, like, I was also raising my grandparents.
You was also, okay, so you had some time with your grandparents as well. And was your grandfather the head of the household?
Financially, but Granny ran the show.
Granny ran the show. Yeah, I get. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I had
And
the
that's
best
the
of both
thing.
worlds.
And you had to, okay, fair enough. That's good. And that's the thing, right? So like influence creates thinking, thinking creates behavior. You're thinking right now and behaving like, I kind of want a woman to go 50-50, or even if I make a little bit more, but she's making money, we could still be a partnership. And I'm letting you, you're 30, you're older than me. 30 what? 30?
39. You called me an old man on the last one. We were
39.
in high school at the same time. Yes, sir.
I don't think you're old. I just said you're older than me.
Right.
I'll leave it at that, man. I would just say that I kind of see where your thinking is coming from, because this is your third time being on here, and I appreciate you, man. Yo, T, you know what I'll do? If you can jot down some questions, because me and you have long discussions. If you could jot down some questions and some topics, shoot my team an email, because they told me that you emailed before, and I'll dedicate a whole stream to just chopping it up with you. How about that?
Cool. We'll work it out.
We'll work it out, man. But I appreciate you, man. Have a blessed one.
All right, brother. Be good. Be safe.
You too. So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.